Welcome to RCSP Florida. Today we're in the Panhandle of Florida to continue our series on lighthouses. As you can see over my shoulder, I'm standing in front of St. Mark's Lighthouse. We're also going to photograph the Crooked River Lighthouse and the St. George Island Lighthouse. Come along with us. This is St. George Island Lighthouse. St. George Island sustained a lot of damage from Michael, but nothing like Mexico Beach. The St. George Island State Park is reopening on the 1st of March 2019 after working for 6 months to clean up the debris and make repairs in the park. After all the work they have done, it will still, most likely, never be the same. Hurricane Michael changed the entire landscape of St. George Island. It destroyed the sand dunes and reshaped the island. The St. George Island Lighthouse was originally built in 1833. It was rebuilt in 1848, 1852, and 2008. The previous lighthouses were destroyed by hurricanes. Fortunately, this one survived Hurricane Michael last year. The current St. Mark's Lighthouse was built in 1842 and it is still standing in the same place today. It even survived the 1843 hurricane and most recently Hurricane Michael in 2018. In the 1843 storm, the lighthouse keeper and his family survived by going to the attic of the keeper's house, but 15 others in the structure drowned. It was a difficult weekend for photography on the Gulf Coast. We fought sea fog all day at both Crooked River and St. George Island, as you can see in the photos. Processing helped a lot, but it obviously couldn't remove all the fog. However, it gives the photos a different look, so I guess that isn't bad. Sometimes you just have to take what Mother Nature dishes out. Even at St. Mark's, anything at a distance looked washed out because of the fog and moisture in the air. The final lighthouse is Crooked River Lighthouse. I saved it until last because I was only able to get one photo of this lighthouse. When we arrived, I got out of my car and was immediately besieged by hundreds of flying insects of some kind. They looked like large gnats. They were so bad I had a hard time taking a picture without the bugs. It looked like I hadn't cleaned my sensor ever. This is the picture without the bugs, and here's one with the bugs. As you can see, it wasn't very good, and that is after flailing around like an idiot with my hat to try and shoo them away. They followed me everywhere I went and were relentless. They flew around my face and I was afraid I was going to inhale them. I flailed around with my cap out in front of me to get rid of the bugs long enough to snap a picture with one hand. I did this a few times until I had at least two that I thought I could use. I then ran and jumped back in my car before they could catch up with me. That's why I only have one photo. I've lived in Florida most of my life and I have never seen bugs that bad. On a serious note, I would like to talk with you about what happened in the Panhandle of Florida in October of 2018. On October 10th, Hurricane Michael struck the Panhandle of Florida with a fury that had never been seen before. The storm surge at St. Mark's was over 8 feet and it flooded the entire St. Mark's Wildlife Management area around the lighthouse all the way to the visitor center, miles inland. This is according to some of the residents we spoke with. You can still see tons of debris that was washed inland and deposited along some of the pond banks. Michael was devastating to the Florida Panhandle and they need all the support they can get. A lot of families lost everything they owned and the recovery process has been very slow. I can't begin to tell you how much damage this storm caused. Look at Google Maps to see satellite images of the destruction that was caused in Mexico Beach, Florida. The satellite images have been updated to show the destruction, but the road view has not. So if you go down to the road view, you can see what used to be there. It is unimaginable. If you live in a hurricane area along the coast of Florida or any coastline in the United States or the world for that matter, and they tell you to evacuate, please do so. If you don't, this could happen to you. It's one thing to lose your home and possessions and another to lose your life. I didn't want to show you the destruction I saw for myself on this trip because the people that might watch this video certainly don't need to be reminded. It will be many years before this area fully recovers and some areas will never recover. Please help support the residents and businesses of the Florida Panhandle that were devastated by Hurricane Michael. Make plans to visit this area once they get back on their feet, and I assure you they will. There are lots of things to do in the Panhandle, and I'm sure you will enjoy your visit. Thank you. Thanks for coming along with us on our Panhandle tour of the lighthouses of northern Florida. I hope you enjoyed it. Come along with us on our next visit to other lighthouses in Florida as we continue our quest to photograph all of the lighthouses in Florida. Thanks for coming and thanks for watching.